2, and I'm going to give the number out to take phone calls. Are we ready, crew, to open the gate and let the callers come in? I'd like to hear from first-time callers. I do this at least once a week. Please be a first-time caller. I'd love to hear from you. 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. And I'd love to hear from you on the topics I've raised. You can bring up stuff. It's just that you can bring up any topic you want. We don't screen your calls. Just sometimes when I've raised huge topics like a media blackout on the impeachment of Obama begun in the House and Senate for high treason, selling out our military and country to the UN. I can't believe I just said that. I mean, that's not rhetoric or hyperbole. That really is happening with no attention. We've got new wars they're gearing up for in Africa. U.S. troops already there. AFRICON, with all these so-called peaceniks running around who really just want mass murder. We've got protesting being banned. We've got all sorts of crazy rulings. 1-year anniversary of Fukushima, with the system saying, everything's fine. Building more reactors everywhere. Reactors all 9 out of 10 leaking. I mean, it's Twilight Zone level. I mean, I just want a good future. I want my family to have a good future. I want you to do well. But the globalists think the planet's theirs. They've stolen it through fraud and derivatives and money laundering and drug dealing and fractional reserve, money changer garbage. And now they just want us out of the way. Well, you know what? I'm not going to just go quietly into the night. There's those that are blissfully ignorant. There's those that make the decision to serve evil. There are those that are actually running the evil. There are those that are scared of the evil and decide to grovel. And then there are those of us that are aware of what's happening and realize life's only lived once and meant to be lived to the fullest, and that means resisting evil. I'm so fulfilled. I can't believe how fulfilled I am. Every moment is an explosion of thought and understanding and anger and rage and love and compassion and focus and confusion and exhilaration and pain and anguish and humiliation. And just the dynamic human spirit, every palette, every color, every flavor, every smell, so alive, so real, so true. And I look at timid souls who don't get in the arena, and I just feel sorry for you. That's all I can say to you. And there are a lot of you out there that say, oh, Alex, you think you're smart. You're not smart. Are we going into tyranny? Is world government being announced? Is all this craziness happening? Okay, great. I'm sure you are smarter than me. Mr. Know-it-all out there. I know there are people smarter than I am. There are people out there a lot tougher than me. But let me tell you something. You come up and punch me in the nose, I'm going to come up swinging. That's the difference. I'll take action. What are you doing? I see these comments about Alex doesn't have all the answers, and yeah, stuff's bad, but what is he going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm asking you. I got respect in you. I believe in you. And I believe that when I cover scary topics like this, you're not going to get scared by it. You're going to get angry and take action. I keep thinking there are better men and women than me out there. You got me wrong. I'm not arrogant. I'm confident in a mission I've got to perform. I'm confident. There's a difference between being arrogant and being confident. And I'm confident because I'm doing the best I can. In the final equation, I know just how weak and human and mortal I am. But you know what? I got guts, and guts is enough. What are you doing to fight evil? I'm challenging you right now. I'm not putting you down. I'm saying, I know you can do a lot. I know you've got answers and angles and skills I don't have. So let's see you step up to the plate right now. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people out there of wealth and people out there of skill and beauty and creativity with different gifts that I don't have to step up to the plate. I can't do this alone. People say, I'm glad Alex Jones is out there fighting this. I'm here to get you moving against tyranny. I'm here to get you awake. I'm here to get you to realize that it's not just that we don't have a future if we don't beat this. That's true. But this is what life's all about, is the animating contest of liberty. If you read what the Founding Fathers have said, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Paine, Patrick Henry, Sam Adams, John Adams, Hancock, John Hancock. History's happening right now. Calling all liberty lovers. Defend humanity. I'm here live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. And then back Sundays 4 to 6, weeknights 7 p.m. Central, InfoWars Nightly News at InfoWarsNews.com. Okay, if you just joined us, I covered the fact that impeachment against Barack Hussein, whoever he is, Barry Soetoro Obama, has been introduced for treason and high crimes and misdemeanors, openly announcing in public statements, in letters, and in the directives to the Secretary of Defense that the Congress no longer commissions officers or is over war, but that the United Nations directs the President of the United States. And we've played the videos, the audios. It's all public. The articles are at Infowars.com. It's HConRes107 at Library of Congress. But no corporate prostitute, dinosaur, sellout, traitor media has covered it. And they've not covered a lot of other really important stories that are going on. And this is my real frustration. I'm going to go to your phone calls and to our guest. I am sick and tired of watching global megacorporations that have overthrown Europe through corporate takeovers. That's what the New World Order is. Corporate takeover of government. The biggest 100 economies, over 50 are corporations. They have intelligence groups, hitmen, everything. People have gone public on this. John Perkins, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. He was taking orders from the Pentagon to go overthrow countries economically. And if they wouldn't take the money, they'd send in the black ops to assassinate leaders. And this isn't done for America. We pay for it. And then these global consortiums create monopolies and overcharge everybody. We pay for the empire, and then we get all the hatred for the empire, our names on it. And then now the empire is doing the same stuff they've done in the third world to us. Passing laws and regulations to shut down small farms and businesses. It's on. It's called Agenda 21. Now, we can easily say no to this. This is so criminal, so brazen, so naked, so over the top, that the government's announcing they'll secretly arrest citizens for no reason and disappear you. That they're announcing they'll pull you over and download your phone without a warrant. Crazy. That they're announcing the UN commands our military. Off the charts. I mean, the senators last week were like, I'm almost breathless. That's not true. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11. And the Secretary of Defense, SecDef, said, no, we take orders from the UN now. And the generals all behind him gave hateful looks at the Senate. Because they're in control. It's like Caesar took over Rome. It's happened, if they get away with it. And it looks like they will, because they've got the traitor media. This will not be covered unless you force it out there. And they know we can force it out there, so they're moving openly now to start censoring the internet. All right, let's stop right there. Now we've got Rick, Martin, Sean, Brian, Joey, Roger, Stacy, Alexander, Karen, and others holding. That's probably enough calls, but I just gave out the number. It is 877-789-2539, first-time callers today. Please have your question and comment ready, because we don't have a lot of time ahead of Greg Palast coming up. Again, I've never talked about Angelina Jolie with all her Illuminati Tomb Raider garbage and all her Kabbalah tattoos and all her stuff and running around the world, you know, taking people's kids and all this. But I've watched her now push and say it's liberal and trendy to attack Libya and wreck that country and racial genocide against the black Libyans and put al-Qaeda in charge. No fan of Gaddafi, but he made deals with the West. Look what happened to him. They're attacking Assad of Syria, bringing in al-Qaeda. They overthrew the old dictator the U.S. backed and put in Muslim Brotherhood. Women are wearing burqas. No free speech now in Egypt. They're using al-Qaeda against Iran. They're using al-Qaeda against the U.S. to take our liberties. They're using them against Uganda. The Ugandan dictator has killed millions on record. And she's out saying, attack, go into Uganda, because Joseph Kony, who hadn't been seen in 5 years, has a couple hundred fighters. I mean, it's just total war propaganda. With he's the new Hitler, invade Africa, when AFRICOM, our once military, is now announcing, just like NORTHCOM over the U.S., a jurisdiction over Africa, with the U.S. invading with NATO all over Africa. I mean, I've got the New York Times last year saying, well, yeah, UN-funded groups are slaughtering farmers to take over the land for UN carbon sinks. I mean, why aren't you on that, Angelina Jolie? Joseph Goebbels, if he'd have been caught, would have been tried for war propaganda and crimes against humanity at Nuremberg. The problem is the UN is involved in global extermination everywhere. The UN is involved in genocide and child trafficking. Go look it up. I mean, it's so criminal, it'll make your head spin. They've twisted our military to do a lot of bad things around the world, but I'll tell you, nothing compared to the UN. They've got a criminal force. The globalists have tried to get our military to do a lot of really evil stuff, but on the ground, they don't usually do it. There's some anomalies and problems. With the UN, you talk about an arm, just type in UN troops, sex crimes, sex trafficking, everywhere they go. I mean, it is a legion of evil. But it's all about the ICC and hundreds of people they've got arrest warrants out for. And then the UN usually grabs you, takes you to The Hague, then you die in your cell. I mean, it is a joke. You can't call witnesses, nothing. What is the UN? It's just a big criminal consortium funded by these big mega banks. And Angelina Jolie is saying, arrest this person, invade Uganda, do all of this. The invasion's already on. It's like babies in incubators and stuff. It's just made up propaganda. Joseph Kony hadn't been seen in 5 years. It's just, he's some guy in the bushes so they can say, there's the imaginary bad man like bin Laden. So I'm going to tell you, under your yardstick, Angelina, you've pushed for all these wars. You're a UN envoy. You are more guilty than Joseph Kony of war crimes against humanity. I don't think you're a useful idiot. You're a dangerous witch. And I'm sick of so-called liberals and their warmongering all over the planet. You people are sick. I just got so angry I just gnashed my teeth together. They're like ringing. I mean, man, this country's in trouble. Yeah, there it is. Peacekeeper sex scandal lingers. What is that, New York Times? I mean, there's so many of these that come out every day. Folks, the globalists feed on the third world. They make movies like Blood Diamond. De Beers has a world diamond monopoly and runs all sorts of horrible stuff and sends mercenaries in to any country that mines their own diamonds. And then they make movies for the liberals and get every Hollywood star going, I want to invade countries that mine their own diamonds. The children are slaves. Total bull. It's all propaganda. The colonization of Africa has just continued, and they're exploiting it. So I don't want to hear all you bleeding hearts talk about how much you love Africa all day and how sad you are for Africa and how great Africa is. So tired of it. I don't want to attack Angelina Jolie. I know for a fact that Brad Pitt's seen my films and reportedly, I'm not even going to get into it, likes him and all this stuff. Well, then what are you doing? I happen to know you guys met with Aaron Russo like 5-6 years ago before he died and watched his film and said you knew about the New World Order. What'd you do, run off and join it after you found out about it? I could care less about your stupid celebrity. I've met enough big celebrities as big as those two idiots that I could care less. I know that it means nothing, but to the public it means something, and your name is being used to sell all this evil. And if you are a useful idiot, you better find out about the genocide in Africa. Bill Gates is in this Kony 2012 film, where they're now getting caught up with the money missing and all these other problems. And it's just a big propaganda film for American children to get behind. Oh, the children, the missing ghost children. Oh, my gosh, we've got to invade Africa to save children. Oh, they're banging babies' brains out outside incubators in Kuwait. Oh, Gaddafi's got troops fueled by Viagra raping all the women. The bull goes on and on and on. Meanwhile, the United Nations all over Africa, you know, in Rwanda, it wasn't just one group killing another. The UN on record, it's known in the foreign press, actually slaughtered millions of people. The UN would get people in refugee camps and then machine gun them all. This is real genocide. This is real extermination over groups that own their own property, filled with oil, diamonds, and everything. If they try to mine one stinking diamond and sell it, the UN helicopters come in and murder them. And then I got to look at somebody posing like a liberal humanitarian like Angelina Jolie telling me how Libya and Syria and Iran and African wars is good. I'm sick of it. America has been turned into a giant engine of evil worldwide. So is Europe. But we're going to be looted and hijacked and destroyed. Our liberties are being burned up by the very same financial interests that have hijacked our country. Now, I'm going directly to your phone call straight ahead. Then Greg Palast is coming up. I'm fired up about freedom. There is a ray of hope. During the break, John Bound, one of our producers, was showing me a new movie coming out that I know is based on a true story about Bosnian sex trade run by the UN. That